What's going on, everybody? Sports Player 2.0 Daniel here. And guys, we went 5-2-1 in the NHL, 5-4 in the NBA, and 1-6 in the MLB. So we had a great day in the NHL, 3 games over 500. We had a good day in the NBA. We went 1 game over 500, and we had a terrible day in the MLB. 1 right out of 7. That is just horrible. So we got a rebound in the MLB. So let's move on to tomorrow's games. The Rangers are going to New York to face the Islanders. The Rangers come in at 23-16-6, and the Islanders come in at 28-13-4. The last game for the New York Rangers, they won 5-3 versus the New Jersey Devils, and for the New York Islanders, they won 1-0 in overtime versus the Philadelphia Flyers. And the likely starters for this game is Igor Shesterkin for the New York Rangers and Semyon Varlamov for the New York Islanders. And the New York Islanders are a favorite in this one, but give me upset. Give me the Rangers to win this game on the road in New York. Next up, we have the Boston Bruins going to Buffalo to face the Sabres. The Bruins come in at 25-12-6. And the Sabres come in at 12-26-7. The last game for the Boston Bruins, they won 6-3 versus the Washington Capitals. And for the Buffalo Sabres, they won 4-2 versus the Pittsburgh Penguins. And the likely starters for this game is Tuukka Rask for the Boston Bruins and Dustin Tokarski for the Buffalo Sabres. And the Boston Bruins are a favorite in this one. Give me the Bruins to win this game on the road in Buffalo. Next up, we have the Carolina Hurricanes going to Tampa Bay to face the Lightning. The Hurricanes come in at 29-10-5, and the Lightning come in at 30-13-2. The last game these two teams played today, and the Tampa Bay Lightning won 3-2 in overtime. The likely starters for this game is James Reimer for the Carolina Hurricanes and Curtis McElhinney for the Tampa Bay Lightning. And the Tampa Bay Lightning are a favorite in this one, but give me upset. Give me the Hurricanes to win this game on the road in Tampa Bay. Next up, we have the Blue Jackets going to Florida to face the Panthers. The Blue Jackets come in at 15-23-9, and the Panthers come in at 29-12-5. The last game these two teams played today, and the Florida Panthers won 4-2. The likely starters for this game is Jonas Korpisalo for the Columbus Blue Jackets and Chris Driedger for the Florida Panthers. And the Florida Panthers are a favorite in this one. Give me the Panthers to win this game at home. Next up, we have the New Jersey Devils going to Pittsburgh to face the Penguins. The Devils come in at 14-24-6, and the Penguins come in at 28-14-3. The last game for the New Jersey Devils, they lost 5-3 versus the New York Rangers, and for the Pittsburgh Penguins, they lost 4-2 versus the Buffalo Sabres. And the likely starters for this game is Mackenzie Blackwood for the New Jersey Devils and Tristan Jarry for the Pittsburgh Penguins. And the Pittsburgh Penguins are a favorite in this one. Give me the Penguins to win this game at home. Next up, we have the Detroit Red Wings going to Dallas to face the Stars. The Red Wings come in at 16-24-7, and the Stars come in at 18-14-12. The last game these two teams played today, and the Dallas Stars won 3-2 in a shootout. It ended in a shootout, and the likely starters for this game is Jonathan Bernier for the Detroit Red Wings and Jacob Oettinger for the Dallas Stars. And the Dallas Stars are a favorite in this one, but give me upset. Give me the Red Wings to win this game on the road in Dallas. Next up, we have the Toronto Maple Leafs going to Vancouver to face the Canucks. The Maple Leafs come in at 28-12-5, and the Canucks come in at 17-18-3. The last game these two teams played last time, and the Vancouver Canucks won 3-2 in overtime. The likely starters for this game is Jack Campbell for the Toronto Maple Leafs and Braden Holtby for the Vancouver Canucks. And the Toronto Maple Leafs are a favorite in this one. Give me the Maple Leafs to win this game on the road in Vancouver. And the final match for the day in the NHL, we have the Anaheim Ducks going to Los Angeles to face the Kings. The Ducks come in at 14-25-7, and the Kings come in at 16-20-6. The last game for the Anaheim Ducks, they lost 5-2 versus the Vegas Golden Knights, and for the LA Kings, they lost 6-2 versus the Vegas Golden Knights. So both teams coming off losses to the Vegas Golden Knights, and the likely starters for this game is John Gibson for the Anaheim Ducks and Cal Peterson for the LA Kings. And the LA Kings are a favorite in this one. Give me the Kings to win this game at home. And that does it for the NHL. Let's move on to the NBA. The Hornets are going to New York to face the Knicks. The Hornets come in at 28-28, and the Knicks come in at 31-27. I'm going to go with the Knicks here. Give me the Knicks to win this game at home. Next up, we have the Orlando Magic going to Atlanta to face the Hawks. The Magic come in at 18-39, and the Hawks come in at 31-26, and the Atlanta Hawks are a 12.5-point favorite in this one. Give me the Hawks in the money line, but give me the Magic plus 12.5. I think this game will be closer than 12.5, but I do think the Hawks will come up on top. So give me the Hawks in the money line, but give me the Magic plus 12.5. Next up, we have the Brooklyn Nets going to New Orleans to face the Pelicans. The Nets come in at 38-19, and the Pelicans come in at 25-32. I'm going to go with the Nets here. Give me the Nets to win this game on the road in New Orleans. Next up, we have the Los Angeles Clippers going to Portland to face the Trailblazers. The Clippers come in at 40-19, and the Trailblazers come in at 32-24. I'm going to go with the Clippers here. Give me the Clippers to win this game on the road in Portland. Next up, we have the Minnesota Timberwolves going to Sacramento to face the Kings. The Timberwolves come in at 15-43, and the Kings come in at 23-34. I'm going to go with the home team here. Give me the Kings to win this game at home. And that does it for the NBA. Let's move on to the MLB. We got a full slate of games today in the MLB. Starting off, we got the New York Mets going to Chicago to face the Cubs. The Mets come in at 7-4, and the Cubs come in at 6-9. The New York Mets last series, they won the series 2 out of the 3 times against the Rockies. They won 2 out of the 3 games against the Rockies. And for the Chicago Cubs, they got swept by the Braves. They lost all 3 games against the Braves. And the pitching matchup for this game is Taijuan Walker for the New York Mets and Jake Arrieta for the Chicago Cubs. And the New York Mets are a favorite in this one. Give me the Mets to win this game on the road in Chicago. And there's no over-under, so I don't know. Next up, we have the LA Dodgers going to Seattle to face the Mariners. The Dodgers come in at 13-4, and the Mariners come in at 11-6. Game 1 of this series was won by the Seattle Mariners by a final score of 4-3. I'm telling you guys, the Mariners are hot. They are hot. They just beat the Dodgers. And the pitching matchup for this game is Julio Urias for the LA Dodgers and Marco Gonzalez for the Seattle Mariners. And the LA Dodgers are a favorite in this one. Give me the Dodgers to win this game on the road in Seattle, and give me the over 8.5 runs in that game. Next up, we have the Chicago White Sox going to Cleveland to face the Indians. The White Sox come in at 8-9, and the Cleveland Indians come in at 8-7. For the Chicago White Sox, they tied their series. They split their series against the Red Sox. They went 2-2 against the Red Sox. And for the Cleveland Indians, they lost their series to the Cincinnati Reds. They lost 2 out of the 3 games against the Reds. They only won 1 game. And the pitching matchup for this game is Carlos Rodon for the Chicago White Sox and Zach Plesac for the Cleveland Indians. And the Chicago White Sox are a favorite in this one. Give me the White Sox to win this game on the road in Cleveland, and give me the under 7.5 runs in that game. Next up, we have a game 1 of a doubleheader. We have the Twins and the Athletics. This is game 1 of this doubleheader. The last series for the Minnesota Twins, they only had 1 game against the Angels, and they lost that game. by a final score of 10-3. They lost to the Angels. And then for the Oakland Athletics, they swept the Tigers. They won all 4 games against the Tigers. And the pitching matchup for this game is Matt Shoemaker for the Minnesota Twins and Sean Manaea for the Oakland Athletics. And I don't know who's favored in this one, but give me the Twins to win this game on the road in Oakland. Next up, we have the Braves going to New York to face the Yankees. The Braves come in at 7-9, and the Yankees come in at 5-10. For the Atlanta Braves, they swept their series against the Cubs. They swept all 3 games. They won all 3 games against the Cubs. And for the New York Yankees, they got swept by the Tampa Bay Rays. They lost all 3 games against the Rays. And the pitching matchup for this game is Charlie Morton for the Atlanta Braves and Jameson Taillon for the New York Yankees. And the New York Yankees are favored in this one, but give me upset. Give me the Braves to win this game on the road in New York, and give me the under 9 runs in that game. Next up, we have the Arizona Diamondbacks going to Cincinnati to face the Reds. The Diamondbacks come in at 6-10, and the Reds come in at 9-6. For the Arizona Diamondbacks, they split their series against the Nationals. They went 2-2 against the Nationals. And for the Cincinnati Reds, they won their series against the Indians. They won 2 out of the 3 games against the Indians. And the pitching matchup for this game is Zach Gallen for the Arizona Diamondbacks and Luis Castillo for the Cincinnati Reds. And the Cincinnati Reds are a favorite in this one, but give me upset. Give me the Diamondbacks to win this game on the road in Cincinnati, and give me the over 7.5 runs in that game. Next up, we have the Baltimore Orioles going to Miami to face the Marlins. The Orioles come in at 7-9, and the Marlins come in at 7-8. For the Baltimore Orioles, they won their series against the Rangers. They won 2 out of the 3 games against the Rangers. And for the Miami Marlins, they won their series against the Giants. They won 2 out of the 3 games against the Giants. They almost swept them, but the Giants took the last game. And the pitching matchup for this game is Matt Harvey for the Baltimore Orioles and Nick Neidert for the Miami Marlins. And the Miami Marlins are a favorite in this one. Give me the Marlins to win this game at home, and give me the over 8 runs in that game. Next up, we have the Pittsburgh Pirates going to Detroit to face the Tigers. The Pirates come in at 7-9, and the Tigers come in at 6-10. For the Pittsburgh Pirates, they won their series against the Brewers. They won 2 out of the 3 games against the Brewers. And for the Detroit Tigers, they got swept by the Athletics. They lost all 4 games against them. And the pitching matchup for this game is Tyler Anderson for the Pittsburgh Pirates and Michael Fulmer for the Detroit Tigers. And the Detroit Tigers are a favorite in this one. Give me the Tigers to win this game at home, and give me the over 8 runs in that game. Next up, we have the San Francisco Giants going to Philadelphia to face the Phillies. The Giants come in at 10-6, and the Phillies come in at 8-8. Game 1 of this series was won by the San Francisco Giants by a final score of 2-0. The pitching matchup for this game is Logan Webb for the San Francisco Giants and Zach Wheeler for the Philadelphia Phillies. And the Philadelphia Phillies are a favorite in this one. Give me the Phillies to win this game at home, and give me the under 8.5 runs in that game. Next up, we have the St. Louis Cardinals going to Washington to face the Nationals. The Cardinals come in at 8-8. And the Nationals come in at 5-9. Game 1 of this series was won by the St. Louis Cardinals by a final score of 12-5. They blew out the Nationals. And the pitching matchup for this game is Adam Wainwright for the St. Louis Cardinals and Patrick Corbin for the Washington Nationals. And the Washington Nationals are a favorite in this one, but give me upset. Give me the Cardinals to win this game on the road in Washington, and give me the over 9 runs in that game. Next up, we have the Toronto Blue Jays going to Boston to face the Red Sox. The Blue Jays come in at 7-9, and the Red Sox come in at 11-6. For the Toronto Blue Jays, they lost their series against the Royals. They lost 3 out of the 4 games against the Royals. And for the Boston Red Sox, they split their series against the White Sox. They went 2-2 against the White Sox. And the pitching matchup for this game is Hyun-Jin Ryu for the Toronto Blue Jays Rays, and Eduardo Rodriguez for the Boston Red Sox. And the Boston Red Sox are a favorite in this one, but give me upset. Give me the Blue Jays to win this game on the road in Boston, and give me the under 8.5 runs in that game. Next up, we have the Tampa Bay Rays going to Kansas City to face the Royals. The Rays come in at 9-8. And the Royals come in at 9-6. Game 1 of this series was won by the Tampa Bay Rays by a final score of 4-1. The pitching matchup for this game is Rich Hill for the Tampa Bay Rays and Brad Keller for the Kansas City Royals. And I don't know who's favored in this one, but give me the Rays to win this game on the road in Kansas City. Next up, we have the Houston Astros going to Colorado to face the Rockies. The Astros come in at 7-8, and the Rockies come in at 4-12. For the Houston Astros, they lost their series to the Mariners. They lost 2 out of the 3 games against the Mariners. And for the Colorado Rockies, they lost their series to the New York Mets. They lost 2 out of the 3 games against the New York Mets. And the pitching matchup for this game is Luis Garcia for the Houston Astros and John Gray for the Colorado Rockies. And I don't know who's favored in this one, but give me the Astros to win this game on the road in Colorado. Next up, we have Game 2 of the doubleheader from before. And the pitching matchup for this game is Jose Berrios for the Minnesota Twins and Jesus Luzardo for the Oakland Athletics. And I don't know who's favored in this one, but give me the Twins to win this game on the road in Oakland. Next up, we have the Texas Rangers going to Los Angeles to face the Angels. The Rangers come in at 8-9, and the Angels come in at 8-6. Game 1 of this series was won by the Texas Rangers by a final score of 6-4. The pitching matchup for this game is Jordan Lyles for the Texas Rangers and Shohei Ohtani for the Los Angeles Angels. And the Los Angeles Angels are a favorite in this one. Give me the Angels to win this game at home, and give me the under 8.5 runs in that game. Next up, we have the Milwaukee Brewers going to San Diego to face the Padres. The Brewers come in at 9-7, and the Padres come in at 10-8. Game 1 of this series was won by the Milwaukee Brewers by a final score of 3-1. The pitching matchup for this game is Corbin Burns for the Milwaukee Brewers and Chris Paddock for the San Diego Padres. And the San Diego Padres are a favorite in this one. Give me the Padres to win this game at home, and give me the over 7 runs in that game. And that does it for today's picks for tomorrow's games. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, please give me the like button, subscribe if you haven't yet, and thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.